channel, guys and girls. Look, the sun is out, beautiful, 20 plus degrees. See all the moor, look, beautiful. It's great, what a fantastic view. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to business. Now the business is, so we got Robert. So Robert, we've already seen this car before. It's pretty much a one-off. I'd say it's a Marmite car, which it is, because of what it's had done to it, with the spoiler and the arch kit, etc., etc. And previously, as you can see that under the bonnet, so this ran a M375 mount tune. We've got rid of all that on the last visit. We put our own custom software on it with all the methanol, which you can see. Now he's done a few thousand miles in this, and he loves it. So this is the one with the 455 map on it, and there is another file which can go on, but we didn't really recommend that he runs that on the stock internal stock engine for obvious reasons, just to be sure you don't want to take that risk. So what Robert wants to do now is go a step further. So he's a bit concerned about the bottom end and the strength of it, etc. So the car's back for some major modifications, not just on the engine. So on the engine side of it, we're going to be 2 litre block in it. So get rid of the 2.3 open deck block, 2 litre closed deck. He's already got the ARP studs. We've done that last time. I closed deck this 2.3, which is okay, but it's just masking the problem, and it helps, but you've still got the weak casting of the block, which you can't really do anything about that unless you change it. So then that's where the 2 litre block comes in. It's a lot stronger. So 2 litre block, he's going to be a bit like Phil's build. So for those of you who remember what we've done on Phil's Black Beast, that's 2 litre block, that's Arrow precision rods, all the race bearings. He still has the standard steel crank. We've done the balance shaft delete and the baffled sump system and all that. That's all on Phil's, but he's still got the large weighty gear pickup for which runs the balance shaft side of it. Whereas Roberts, so he's having the same Arrow precision rods, Mad Motorsport pistons, but Roberts is going to be running. He's going to an Arrow precision crank. Now an Arrow precision crank doesn't have that gear pickup on it. That's gone. That's machined out, and the crank itself is 4 kilos lighter. So again, brilliant. He's going to have the twin plate ceramic clutch, which we have fitted it in that, but that changed direction, and we'll talk about that one in a minute. Hence why we didn't get that far with that. So he's having the same clutch. Robert's having the same clutch in this one. With the clutch, like I always say to customers, it's either one or the other. You can't have the best of both worlds with regards to refinement. So balance shaft, dual mass, it's all for emissions and refinement and all that sort of stuff, and nice and quiet and cushy. Lovely and cushy. Yeah. You can do what you want. I wouldn't really be recommending putting in the stock clutch, keeping the stock clutch and dual mass flywheel. They don't look too much torque with upping the power and the torque. You can, not recommended, but ultimately the decision is down to the customer. So, but they'll take my advice a lot of the time, and Robert's going to be going for the steel billet, lightweight flywheel, twin plate clutch, balance shaft delete, and baffle sump and all that sort of stuff. Same as Phil's, but you will lose refinement. So you will get gear train chatter like a race car. That's just the way it is. So the clutch is pretty good. It's pretty similar to stock. The way that Bernat TTV Racing has refined the hub and the spring load so that it's as close to what you can. A little bit on off. That's the characteristics of a race clutch. It's called a race clutch. But what Ben's done is try to refine it as much as he can for being civilized on the road. In traffic, it can be a little bit tricky, but you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have a race clutch which is refined, and because you're taking away all the damping from the gear train, so you will get a bit of chatter on it, and that's just the way it is. And if you don't want to put up with that, don't go ahead and do so many mods. Don't leave the drill mass on it and leave the stock clutch on it, or put an uprated drive plate if you can find one, and whatever. But it's not certainly something we would get involved with. Why would we? We just put a TDV in it, and it will cope with the all the power and the torque, no problem at all. So yeah, that's all the internal sort of thing. We have got something which is, there's a delay on it, but which we'll show you later on the induction side of it. But Robert's having all this changed. He's having the latest AirTech. He wants all the noise drivers, so the AirTech Stage 3, which is like bigger than the Stage 2 one, and all the blue gauges and all that sort of stuff. So he's having lots and lots done on the engine side of it. He's already got the Pro Alloy intercooler in silver. All right. He wants to retain this, the velocity and obviously the oil cooler, which will be all retained. He's having a Pro Alloy radiator in silver to match the rest of it. All this will be changed because you won't have any of that. It'll be open cone, Pro Alloy header tank, low semi in it.
Yeah.
So obviously all the front end will come off it. There's lots of electrical connections on this, lots of bits and pieces that Robert's fitted himself. He likes to do that, play around with it and bolt on stuff. That's great. There's other things that he's supplied which he wants us to fit. We're going to try and wire up because there isn't a methanol gauge available, which like a fuel gauge where it tells you how much meth you've got in the tank. So Robert's come up with this idea, like a marine sort of like gauge with wiring and whatever. We're going to try and wire that in. It should work, and then he'll have a gauge there, and he's already got the gauge there, and see where we can make that work so that he knows how much meth he's got in there. Because at the moment it'll just throw up a low level light, which is fine, but the gauge is always better in it if you can do that. So hopefully it'll be just straightforward. All right, that's on that side of it. What else we do on the engine, to me? Apart from that, we're changing the operating the methanol, that side of it. Lights we've already talked about. Oh yeah, the block, it'll be painted grabber blue, same as Phil, so it'll be like this sort of blue block. We'll paint that. And then moving around to he's already got this. So last time the car was with me, it had blue wheels on it, the stock forged upgrade, but in blue. Now we've got the Revo wheels in matte anthracite and the Race super light wheel nuts, which is what we recommend. Stock brakes. This is a serious build on this. He's not messing around. So he's actually having our full-on brake kit as well, front and rear, which is pretty awesome. We're not going to tell you what colour he's going for. We'll share that with you a bit later, but he's having the same kit as what me and Phil's got. 400 is a bit different on this one, so I've had to create another custom kit because he's got the kit on it. So he has to retain a 15mm spacer as well as the Revo wheel. Normally you wouldn't have that on there, it'd be too much, but because he's got the arches on it, extensions on it, and he wants it to sit where it sits, which is important. All right, so we need to recreate that, and then he's having a big brake kit. So we're going to be doing a 400mm disc on the front, which is the same as what we run, but he wants it'll be a studded spacer bell setup, which we haven't done yet. So that'll be interesting to me, won't it?
Yeah.
Loads of other things to do on it, like he's got some rails that he wants fitted, so that when he's got a scissor lift at home, so that he can just put it on there and it picks it up on the rails. Loads of other things bits and pieces he wants to fit, interior on the rear, strut brace. He wants us to get certain things powder coated a different colour and all that sort of stuff. But loads and loads we're doing on it. So we'll just keep you updated when we're going along as we're going. All right, so we'll catch up soon.